great introduction. I almost had to question who he was talking about. But like he said, I did join an organization called Toastmasters. It kind of helps you build the confidence to get in front of the crowd. But beyond that, it helps you build leadership skills. And that's what I consider myself, a leader. I'd like to tell you thank you, and I give honor to God for being here today. Amen. I've known probably about since June of last year I was going to be here, or I was coming out here. I've known probably for about a month that I needed a new tire. So with that being said, I went yesterday. I said, well, I better get a new tire before I get on the road. So I got the tire changed, and when I went to pick up my truck, the gentleman told me, he said, you had 2 nails in your tire. So, you know, I like to speed when I get on the highway. So I just thank God for even the opportunity of being here. He set it all up in advance. And I thank you for it. I want to try to test the audience if I can. And before I go into that, I'm going to take a little bit more about myself. I guess maybe because of my speaking voice, a lot of people want to put me ahead of the horse before the cart. They want to put me as a minister already. Wow. Now, if that's what God's will is, that's okay. But others will call me motivational speaker. And that's okay too. But to me, in my opinion, motivational speakers, they speak to people's emotion. You know, emotions can get turned this way, turned that way. Yeah. And anybody can probably manipulate, if they try hard enough, someone's emotions. Amen. So I like to call myself an inspirational speaker. Wow. Because I don't speak to the emotion. I speak to the spirit. Okay? I like to be inspired. I understand the fact that I am not an earthly being having a spiritual revelation, but just the opposite. I'm a spiritual being going through this world as a worldly man. But the spirit is always first. So what I did, I pulled out a $20 bill. $20 bill. Now, let's just say, just for the purpose of this exercise, let's say this was a $100 bill. By show of hands, how many people would want that $100 bill? See the hands go up. All right, now let's say I took this same $100 bill and I folded it in half. How many people would still want it? Right. Now if I took the same dollar, $100 bill, and I crumpled it up, how many people would still want it? All right, let me try one more then. I see we got a wild crowd here today. If I took this same crumpled up $100 bill and I took it out to the lot there and I drove my vehicle over it, how many people would still want it? You just started something. Right. Now, I want to say that I don't think that's a surprise to me. Because one thing I realized is people have not stopped believing in the power of money. Amen. Even if you put it in a washing machine, you forget it in your jeans pocket, put it in a washing machine, wash it up, ball it up, fold it up. No matter pretty much what you do to money, people still want that money because they believe in the power of that money. All right. Not realizing that at any time, Uncle Sam can come in, and if you live a little longer, you'll see, as the time goes on, that money is not worth as much as it used to be. It doesn't stretch as far as it used to go. Now, I want to talk about something today. I want to talk about 3 things on this earth that kind of manipulate who we are and who we become. The first thing I want to talk about, just briefly though, I want to talk about our influences. Now, early on in life, our influences are our parents, our brothers, our sisters, close family friends. But now, as we go out into the world, our influences become many. So we have to be watchful, be mindful of the people and the things that we let influence our life. The next thing I want to talk about is our experiences. As you see, all the things I took that dollar bill through, those are experiences. We might get folded up. We might get crumbled up. We might even get thrown in the washing machine every once in a while. But our value doesn't change as long as we believe it. Which brings me to the third one, our beliefs. And this is the one I want to talk about today. Now, our beliefs, we can call this our selfish one because it don't have anything to do with anybody outside of ourselves. It's only dealing with us. Anybody can believe something, but they can't believe something for us. How many people know anything about boxing? Anybody know anything about boxing? Anybody ever heard of a boxer nicknamed the GOAT? The G-O-A-T. Called himself the greatest of all time. No other than the Muhammad Ali. Now, if you know anything about Muhammad Ali, he wasn't shy about speaking his mind, especially when it came to talking about himself. He definitely wasn't shy when it came to that. Once in an interview before one of his biggest fights against a gentleman by the name of George Foreman. You know, you might know him now as the guy who smiles on the commercial and he's selling this lean, mean grilling machine. Well, back then he was the lean, mean fighting machine or the lean, mean killing machine. A lot of people didn't think Muhammad Ali could take it. They said, Muhammad Ali, you might as well go and give it on up now.
Wow.
But Muhammad Ali believed that he can do it.
Yes.
Now, in that press conference, Ali told the crowd, he said, I've been chopping down trees. He said, I did something a little new for this fight. He said, I went out and I wrestled an alligator. He said, I tussled with a whale. He said, I handcuffed lightning and threw thunder in jail. He said, just last week, I murdered a rock. I injured a stone. I hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I made medicine sick. And fast. I'm so fast, last night I was in my bedroom, I hit the switch and I was in the light, it was in the room, in the bed before the room got dark. That's fast. Now, if you don't know Ali, and you heard him go on about how great he was, you would think he was a little arrogant. You might even think he was a little boisterous.
Wow.
You know, once Muhammad Ali said, I am the greatest.
Yeah.
And I said that even before I knew I was. I'm the greatest. I said that even before I knew I was. See, to me, I think Ali understood the power of believing. How many people believe in the power of believing? There's definitely power in believing. And I believe Ali understood that power. He understood it was, as Mark 23 said, if you can believe all things, not some things, if you can believe, all things are possible to him who believes.
Yes, sir.
Or as Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Yes, sir.
So then, let's get to the meat and potatoes of it. What is a belief? You might go in a dictionary, or these days you go on the internet, you can look up a bunch of definitions about belief. But the bottom line is, a belief is no more than a thought that we continue to think.
Yes, sir.
A thought that we continue to think. There's a such thing as the law of belief. And the law of belief says that which we believe. Now the kicker is with conviction. It says that which we believe with conviction becomes our reality. So if you can believe it again, you can conceive it. But it all, no, begins with a thought. And Ali said, I am the greatest. There's a spiritual teacher. His name is Deepak Chopra. He said, we must get to the place within ourselves where nothing is impossible. That's the place we have to find, within ourselves. Again, we can look outside, but nobody can believe for you. There's another saying. That saying says, watch your thoughts, for they become your words.
Yes, sir.
Watch your words, for they become your actions.
Yeah.
Watch your actions, habits, for they become your character. And watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. It becomes your destiny. So again, it starts with a thought. If thought can take you to destiny, what then will your destiny be? It will be determined by the thoughts you think. If you think thoughts of defeat, that's exactly what you'll become. Defeated. Back to Ali. It begins with a thought. I am the greatest. Now there's a couple of things that keep us from our greatest. And although all of us have different fears, we may have a fear of speaking, a fear of heights, a fear of insects. Whatever your fear is, remember this. The two fears that keep you from your greatest are fear of rejection and fear of failure. But one thing I know for sure, can't serve two masters. Put your faith in charge and not your fears. Again, you can't serve two masters. So believe whatever you want to do in your heart. As a man thinketh, so is he. If you can believe it, you can conceive it. If you believe, all things are possible to him who believes. So again, we'll think about Muhammad Ali, who said, I am the greatest. Turn to your neighbor for me and say, I am the greatest.
I am the greatest.
One more time, please, with conviction. I am the greatest. Now, you think this same thought, put it on your calendar, and think that thought again tomorrow. Put it on your calendar for next week. I am the greatest. Put it on your calendar for next year. I am the greatest. And eventually, you will be the greatest. Now, when it comes to greatest, y'all gotta wrap me up now. Y'all don't want to spend too much time up here. But when you become the greatest, one thing you have to know is God is always first. And as long as God is in the picture, being the greatest has nothing to do with anybody else.
Amen.
So you don't have to worry about comparing yourself to the next man. Comparing yourself to the next woman. I am the greatest. I am the greatest.
I am the greatest.
Thank you.